Hello everyone, and welcome to the third session of Tarantula Hot Topic. This one was actually a request from somebody, so I'm going to be talking about tools and equipment that I use for keeping teas. But before we get into that, I wanted to say that I'm very sorry for not uploading as often as I probably should. I've been trying to do at least once every 2 weeks, but I haven't been because my work schedule my hours have been picking up, and I also started spring classes, so that's kind of taken a lot of my time as well as other things, personal things. So anyway, so I wanted to say sorry for not uploading as often, but I should be getting back into a schedule at some point as soon as I get everything settled in. So anyway, before we get into the actual topic, I wanted to go over some comments from the last video, which I will link here, and I'll put in the description. The hot topic, the hot topic on water. I got some really good comments, so I wanted to go over some things that I actually missed going over in the last one. So the first comment comes from Fat Cat. They said, I usually use water bottle caps for the small teas, and I put 2 portion cups stacked in the big tea homes. So this is a really good idea. I was actually very excited to read this because I might actually try it myself. So what I have a problem with teas that web a lot, and the adults, they usually like to web, like Coco, she actually does this a lot too. She webs the side of the water dish to the substrate so that when I pull the cup out, all the substrate comes with it. So what they were saying is that if you put a cup inside of a cup, which I guess you could do any kind of cup really, as long as you have 2 different sizes. If you put a cup inside of a cup, then they'll web the outside one to the substrate and the middle one will be free to take out. So you can just take that out and you won't be disturbing anything on the outside. You won't be disturbing the webbing or the substrate or anything like that. So that was a really great idea. I might try that. So I also got a comment from John who said that he uses bottle caps for the water, but the water doesn't last very long. So this is a really good point because especially for slings, if you use a water bottle cap for slings, which I don't do in any case, the water evaporates quickly and it's pretty pointless. But yeah, I noticed that too. So I also got a lot of comments that said that they use water dishes for slings anyway. The only reason why I don't like to do this is because the water doesn't last very long at all, and 2, they have the potential to drown. I know a couple of people said that this doesn't happen, but I don't want to risk it, so I don't put water dishes in my sling enclosures at all. Especially in larger collections, it's kind of not that easy to have every single sling have a water dish, so it's so much more easier to just go in and spray the side with a water bottle and then you're done. That way you don't have to worry about the water evaporating, or you don't have to worry about the sling getting in the water, or covering it up with dirt and not having water at all. And they also need higher humidity, so I mean it just makes sense to spray it instead of giving them a water dish. So anyway, so those are the comments that I wanted to go over, and now I guess we'll get into the actual topic. So this one was a request, and I'm sorry I can't remember who requested this, but they wanted to see what kind of tools and equipment that I use to keep my teas. So I'll just go through. I have 5 things here that I absolutely use all the time. So the first thing that I want to show you guys is my paintbrush. Yay, people love this paintbrush. This paintbrush is used for testing a tea's temperament. This is a must-have if you have aggressive or skittish teas that can kind of bite without warning. I use both ends. I do not use this end as much as I use this end, but I notice that some teas don't like hard things touching them, so I have a paintbrush just in case. And I know my teas' personalities, so I know which ones don't mind this and which ones don't mind this. So this is good for testing a tea's temperament. You can get these anywhere. They're very cheap, they're replaceable, they're easy to find. You need something to test the tea's temperament, because if you don't, that's how people get bit. And I've never been bit before, so that's good. It's been over a year now that I've been keeping teas, and I've never been bit. So the other thing that you can use is tongs. I know some people use their tongs to test the tea's temperament, kind of like move them along, like pat them on the back legs. That's fine too. The only thing is that if they turn around and bite these tongs, they could damage their fangs. So just be wary of that. So the other thing that you need these tongs for, obviously, is feeding. You're going to need these for feeding and cleaning the enclosures. I use these for feeding because the superworms that I feed them actually bite. I know it doesn't hurt and whatever, but I just don't like them biting me. So I use these tongs and I use them to feed all of my tarantulas. It's a lot easier to manipulate the worms too if you have the little tongs, and you can place them exactly where you need them to go, like right in front of the tea and all that stuff. So also these are good for picking out like food boluses and poop. So that's good. So you're not sticking your hands in there in front of the teas and they think, oh, that's food, and then go to bite you. So it's always good to have a pair of these. You can do tweezers too, I guess, if you can't afford tongs, if you already have a pair of tweezers or something. But you're gonna need something long so you can keep your hands away from what's going on in the enclosure, especially if you have like aggressive teas or like teas that are really fast and skittish, and you freak out or something if they move. So it's just nice to have really long tongs. So the other thing that I have is this. This is just a eyedropper or a medicine dropper, medicine measurer thing. You can get them in like your medicines. I got this one from CVS. They gave me something with it. I've never used it. This is a clean one. I only use this for water. So this is good for like the teas that have smaller water dishes where you need more precision, where you can't just dump some in with like a water bottle or something. So these are good for that. I use this for my slings just to kind of like wet the substrate and get them some water. So also for the slings I use this. So this is good for giving like arboreal slings water too, because you can spritz the side of the enclosure and then it forms like a bunch of little water droplets instead of like collecting at the bottom in a big puddle. So they go around and they drink the little water droplets off the side. That's what slings do too. So that's why I use this. It is filtered water. This is a water bottle that's never been used for anything else. So you just go around and spritz the side of the enclosures and you're done. And then they go and they drink from the sides, and then you don't have to worry about them sitting in a puddle or anything like that. So this is good for giving arboreal slings, arboreals and slings water and humidity at the same time. I've got hairs everywhere. Sorry. The last thing that I have for you guys is a catch cup. I know this isn't really like an equipment tool kind of thing, but you want to have one of these available just in case one of your teas decides to escape, which I have had happen. My Pierre Minia decided that he wanted to make a break for it, and it was good that I had a catch cup because those things are fast. Those things are fast. And it was actually right back here by this door. So if he would have gotten underneath that door, I probably would have lost him. So if I didn't have a catch cup, he would have been gone. So these are good for getting teas out of the enclosure if you need to do maintenance. You can use your tongs or your paintbrush to scoop them into the catch cup and then set them aside and do your thing and then put them back in and all that stuff. This is also good for catching escapees. So you want to have one of these around when you're dealing with tarantulas, when you have the lids off of speedy tarantulas. Tarantulas that like to bolt like arboreals, they are really fast. That's pretty much it. I want to thank you guys for staying with me and keeping me motivated and supporting me through all this. I know that I'm not very regular with my schedule. It's just very hard for me to get videos out regularly. But I hope you guys stick with me. Maybe in the future I'll be able to give you guys more content at a scheduled date. So anyway, thank you guys for giving me your input on all of my videos. I really appreciate that. It gives me something to talk about in my next video. So if you guys want to comment below and let me know what kind of extra tools that you use, what you find useful to have around, and let me know any kind of suggestions or comments or anything besides rude hate comments. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, so go ahead and leave that below and I will be commenting on as many as I can. The next video will will probably be on substrate, which was another requested video. So I'll be going over the different kind of substrate and all that stuff, so look out for that. I also have an enclosure coming in, a snake enclosure coming in sometime next week. So I will be doing an unboxing and a setup video of that, so that's exciting. I didn't forget about it, it's coming. Okay, so go ahead and comment below and all that stuff. I'm gonna head to yoga class, and I will see you guys in the comments.